was over there looking for a bale and couldn't find one. I know where it's at, but I'm not going to get up there and get it. On the onset here, today's project is to get this engine off of this workbench right here, to get the engine off the workbench and onto the cart that we done went and built for it. I did have some comments wrote down there, but a strong gust of wind came by and blowed my notes away across the fence, and I'm not going over there and getting them. I'll just recollect to you from memory the best I can. And one of the comments was about this trip mechanism for this EK on this type M McCormick-Deering. And this right here is basically a type 1 trip mechanism. And one of them videos, I was telling you about this rod that goes through here. This nut's all one piece. It's in another video. You can go back and bring yourself up to this point right here if you want to. And not that I like to talk a lot in my videos, but I'm going to try to cover a whole bunch of stuff here really quick. This is basically a type 1. It's basically a type 1, could be a 3, so it's kind of a modified setup, taking in consideration the way they retarded the spark here. Start in the top hole and run in the bottom, and you do your timing on the run position. And what I was talking about is parts being bent, and this part right here is bent on a lot of engines, and I'm not all that positive why, but if you turn this, you can actually watch this end out here go backwards and forwards when you turn that. See it come out and in? Okay, and you can take this off and straighten it, but it's just no need to. Actually, it works a little better if the bend goes to the top, because this thing right here moves in an arc like this right here. When that turns around, it comes forward. This has to come forward, and that right there's a rounding on that end right there. If it's worn out, you will have problems with it. A spring, a washer, a thick one, and a thick one here, and a spring here. This one's stronger than this one. This one is to trip the mag, and this one right here is to reset it and position the amount that you pull the cores away from the magneto. But we'll call this a type 1, I guess. Type 2 being the one that's on the Hercules, and I think Stover, you know, it's one that's got the little trip off, you know. So, and you want to end up with this right here. If you have one of these that's bent, and you had to bend to this side or this side, then it will make this right here wobble. When that turns, it'll wire crooked. But if this right here, if the bend is, it's not very much. If the bend is up or down, then this right here will run true on that cam. It's a eccentric strap and eccentric drive. And to know if your engine is timed inside the engine correctly, you can use these two notches on this plate here in conjunction with the magneto itself to confirm that. But the point, not to neglect this right here any more than enough, is even to the point where you put your mark on there where you know which is up and which is down. We'll adjust that. But now let's put the magneto on there. And you should know the type of drive you have in order to know how to adjust the points on the magneto. They adjust different measurements for the different drive. And I've had this magneto on there, another one on here a couple times before, if you remember. But let's put a little oil right there, you know, that's bare metal. And the magneto can be put on there with the flywheel on there. You do not have to remove the flywheel. I've just got it off here so we can talk about some stuff. And this is the one that was on the test machine. It's got a stud in the back lineup. Some different engines uses 2 bolts. You put that on there and rock that thing forward. If it don't fit in the groove down there comfortably, then all you have to do is to turn the engine, and that will come around, and it will go right up in there. Just like so. When you get that to a certain place, it's dead level with that roller in there. Put the magnet on the engine. It's just not to leave nothing out is the whole point of this right here. And this is the engine that I did try on another engine and got absolutely no spark out of it. And it was totally the setting of the spring on the drive mechanism was the total amount of problems. Now I'll show you something. You know, it's sometimes it'll help you, but these mags will, the holes in there where the bolts are, they will rock. It's about 1/4 of an inch most of the time, different positions. Sometimes that will be an asset if you've had the magneto off and cleaned up stuff, put it back on there, maybe replace some parts or something. It would be your advantage to rock it to the front or to the back, simply because your drive pin is worn and you need that to pull at a different angle. Sometimes that will be an asset. In this particular case here, I don't think we need it. I'm just going to put it, you know, like in a straight position. Wherever it falls is where we're going to tighten it up. Nothing special. And just tighten it up to the point where that's where it's going to live at. One of the things in the comments, I think, was, or in the notes, was I did go to the trouble there to find a piece of rubber that would fit inside this holder and the size of the spark plug, where that would just fit in there snugly, not tight, not loose. And I wanted that there, and that needs to be there, so that when you hook the magnet up, when you get everything set and right, and get your fingerprints off there. Don't leave no fingerprints on your engine. When you get done with these old engines, I've said it again, and I hope somebody didn't take it the wrong way. On these old engines, when you get done working on the engine, it should have no appearance of being worked on. It's not that you're trying to hide anything. It's just good workmanship on these old engines to have everything to look like it's supposed to be there, like it's a part of the original engine. No intent to cover anything up whatsoever. New spark plug wire, new ends, soldered. The spark plug that I got in there now is a 30. That's an auto light 3076. That's what we got in there now, and I think it'll be all right. Set on about 35,000, somewhere like that. Magneto's on the engine. We had a real nice spark on the test beach, so I'm going to go with that. I don't think there's any problem there. Now, this right down here, that little cutaway right there, I mean, it's as basic as it can get. That little cutaway right there in that engine, that's the timing mark on a M, 1.5 horsepower, this and this. That's the timing mark, and that lines up with the mark on the flywheel. And we'll put the flywheel on here after we get done remembering this stuff. And it's always a good idea to put a little oil right in yonder. There's a hole and a trough in the top of this right here, and if you put some oil right in there, it'll go down there and it'll oil that roller up. And I put a little excess right there, you know, on the get-go. You want some extra oil on there. And, you know, while you're over in here, just oil everything. Now, on this engine right here, I think there was some confusion about the patina, the color, what we've got on the engine. And on this particular one right here, it does not have anything on it. It does not have boiled in linseed oil on it. It's nothing but a 30 weight non-detergent oil, as I show you. Like when I oil something up right there, you know, you see something over there and you just go ahead and wipe it down, and before you know it, you've got an oil film over the whole complete engine. Now, once this starts and runs, it will take on its own patina. You know, they take on their own personality at some point. But we've got all the fuel system, everything is on there. One video back. Let's see. Let's probably, most likely, you're going to be working on your engine with the flywheel on the engine. So I'm going to put a little oil right here, just kind of oil that up, just a little bit, nothing, no anti-seize, no trick lubricants or nothing like that, just basic 30 weight non-detergent oil. Think like it's, let's put some right in there on that thing. See, this engine ain't been run since we put it back together, so a little extra oil won't hurt it at all. If you have an engine and you're afraid to oil it, the flywheel, let's put it on yonder. These flywheels ain't too heavy, and I'll tell you something else now. You're probably gonna. I was wondering how come someone did not leave a comment to the fact. I was wondering about it. At some point we'll have to take a break